Good afternoon, everyone. It's an absolute honor to have the three esteemed dignitaries on the dais, and we are extremely fortunate that the dignitaries are interested in interacting with the students. Our guest for today is Honorable Mr. Justice Vijay Kumar Patil. Lordship is native of Shedbal, Belgaum district. Lordship completed his primary and secondary education at native place and obtained BA degree from Shivanand College, Kagwad. Lordship graduated in law from University Law College, Dharwad, and completed his LLM from Postgraduate Department of Studies in Law, Karnataka University, Dharwad, securing second rank. Lordship got enrolled as advocate on 16 July 1999 and practiced at Bengaluru. Lordship joined the chambers of Honorable Shri Justice Ashok B. Hinchigeri. Lordship has practiced in the various branches of law and has worked as High Court government pleader and additional government advocate for a period of 11 years. During the practice, Lordship represented as standing counsel for KIADB, Karnataka Slum Development Board, Karnataka Rural Infrastructure Development Corporation, and Mysore Urban Development Authority. Lordship also worked as honorary lecturer at Sheshadripuram Law College and KLE Society's Law College, Bengaluru. Lordship sworn in as additional judge of the High Court of Karnataka on 9th February 2023. Sir, please, the students are waiting to hear from you.
Honorable Sri Justice Rajesh H. Patil, Judge High Court of Bombay, Professor Vibhute, Principal of the college, KLE Law College, Navi Mumbai, Sri J.M. Mallikarjunaya, I think he is not there, Principal KLE Law College, Bangalore, Sridhar Prabhu, very close associate of the KLE Law College, Bangalore, and other activities relating to Law College, esteemed faculty members, my dear students, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me an immense pleasure to be part of this event. And two reasons I have decided to come here, all the way from Bangalore. One is I was part of KLE Law College, Bangalore as a faculty member. I used to teach in KLE Law College, Bangalore for a period of 6 years. Second important reason is our former Chief Justice, Justice Oak Saab, now presently a Judge of the Supreme Court. He is a main speaker. I thought I will be benefited by his words. That is another motivating reason I have decided to come here. Nowadays, addressing a law student is a challenging task for the speakers. It is not that the law students, what we found in our days of learning. So I thought what to speak. I found out one quote from great philosopher Aristotle. He says, "We are what we repeatedly do the excellence. Therefore, isn't just an act, but a habit, and the life isn't just a series of events, but an ongoing process of self-definition." It says, what is the meaning of this? It says, excellence is not to be a thing accomplished or achieved once. It is an ongoing process during the entire professional career. What Aristotle is saying is, if you win the moot court competition or win the gold medal, that is not the end of your job. It should be your way of life. It should be definition of your life. It should be always strive towards the excellence. Now coming to the moot court competition as such, it helps these students to contemplate about the contemporary legal issues. This competition helps the students to emulate contemporary legal issues. It improves their skills of research, to collaborate with and learn from their peers, and to demonstrate their interest in the advocacy. Ultimate object of the moot court is, in the process you will learn something. You will not learn relating to a dead subject. You learn towards the live subject. As a law student, if you are capable to appear before the Honorable Supreme Court, as if definitely we are sitting as judges in the court, we hear the advocates. I don't found any difference between what the regular counsels argue in the high courts and between the mooters what they are arguing. So that much of the energy level or the knowledge you have acquired, this process of moot court. So definitely it helps you in the future profession. What I feel is, all the participants, two teams we have seen, whether you win or lose, that is not the important here. What is important here is your participation in the process is important. At the end, what we take from this participation in the process, we take lot that you will not get the result, or you will not be able to measure at this stage, but definitely in your future endeavors you will you will be known to what you acquired through this moot court competition. The process of learning should not stop here. It should always continue. It applies to not only the law students, it applies to the judges, academicians also. As all these, you are aware that profession of law is not like a bed of roses. You are required to face so many challenges. Now these institutions are pushing you to those challenges in the advance only, instead of coming there in the court of law and facing those challenges before the judges, or facing the challenge before the litigant, or facing the legal challenges, I can say in a nutshell. Now the college is putting you in such a situation, a tight situation. You have to come out from that situation. In the process, you will emerge as a good lawyer. Now another important issue what I was thinking, what to tell. There is swift change in the legal education system. Earlier it was a theoretical teaching. Either it may be lawyers or the professors. They used to come, take the bare act or commentary, and used to tell, take the section, start from there. Last section, 511 of the IPC, if it is ends, their job is over, your job of coming to the college is over. That is not now. Now that is a swift change in the legal education system. Nowadays, law schools are providing not only the theoretical teaching of law subjects, but making the students to participate in moot court competitions, mock trial competitions. Nowadays, you are aware about these ADLR methods by way of competitions. They are making you to join the lawyers' chambers in advance only from the first year or so. You are joining the chambers of judges. In 1 or 2 students, they are working with me virtually they are correcting the judgments and judgment writing skill they are now. When you appear for the examination, judicial side, if you are interested, definitely it will help you. So holistic development is the objective of the nowadays law college or the law courses, I can say. That old days theoretical teaching has gone. Whether they teach or not, you are able to understand the intricacies of law. That is the whole object behind all these. Another small issue akin to this legal education only, what I feel, the technological advancement in the field of law and the judicial process. I am not addressing here as only the law students of the Bombay region. There are law colleges where they don't equip themselves with these facilities, maybe remote parts of the state or the country. My earnest request is that they should equip themselves in these process. They should learn the techniques of, make use of the advancement in the field of technology. End result would be, it helps you in your profession and it helps you in your future endeavors, and definitely it helps morely to the judicial process as such. If you are precise on the point, if your research is accurate on the point, then you need not worry much, and even it saves the judicial time in the court ultimate beneficiary would be the judicial process as such. So I request that all of you should equip yourself. Definitely all these students of this college and urban areas, they equip themselves, but it is appeal to the rural area students that they should equip themselves with this advancement in technology. I conclude by saying that each one of you have a great potential in him. You should make use of that potential in its maximum capacity. I am not saying that it definitely helps you in your career. It helps in a different field also. It helps in resulting the dispensation of justice as such. If an efficient lawyer comes, if you put your potential fully as a student of law, first 2-3 years, what we have faced, that difficulty will not be having for you. Understanding the concept, earlier days we used to take 1 or 2 years. Now already that training is provided to you. So the time will be reduced. So that is one aspect. Second one is that use of that potentiality and you will become a perfect lawyer. Like persuasion, skill of persuasion, research, writing skill, drafting skills. It leads to the ultimate benefit of the society at large, litigants at large. They will treat that you are the one of the best lawyer who can get the justice to him. By this, I once again, whether you are loser or winner, that is not important at all. When you participated, all of you are a winner here. By this, I conclude saying all the best for you. I thank the organizers and the ALS Society for providing me an opportunity to come all over the Bangalore and be with you. Thank you. Thank you one and all.
It gives me immense pleasure to introduce Dr. Kushal Vibhute, who is a recipient of distinction at the graduate and postgraduate studies in law and of fellowships from Hague Academy of International Law, Netherlands, the International Institution of Human Rights, Strasbourg, France, the UN Human Rights Center, Geneva, Switzerland, and Max Planck Institute for Comparative Public in International Law. Dr. Kushal Vibhute is a professor of law and director, Amity Law School, and honorary professor emeritus at National Law University, Jodhpur. Distinguished professor of law, West Bengal National University of Judicial Sciences. Sir has also served as UNDP professor of public law in Ethiopia. He has also served as a head of Department of Law, University of Pune, the director of Center for Criminal Law Studies, National Law University, Jodhpur, and Dean of Rajiv Gandhi School of Intellectual Property Laws. Professor Vibhute has authored and edited 11 books and has also contributed to 16 anthologies. He is also, to his credit, 119 articles published in reputed law journals across the globe. His latest publication is PSA Palle's Criminal Law in 2019. Sir has traveled on academic assignments to the Netherlands, France, Switzerland, Germany, Hong Kong, Italy, Ethiopia, Malaysia, and USA. We welcome you, sir.
Good afternoon to budding lawyers and future judges, two distinguished lordships on the dais, principal of this college and his team. At the outset, let me express my deep gratitude to Professor and principal of this college and his team to invite me to share the dais with distinguished judges, which academician hardly gets an opportunity. I feel privileged. Now, probably principal knows that when teachers stands behind a podium, he doesn't stop for 45 minutes. He ordered me to finish it within 2 minutes. I will try my best. Now, What is the utility of this moot court competitions which BCI makes it mandatory for every law college to organize? Now, probably most of us, when you go to classrooms, you learn law as in a textbook or in bare text. But when it comes to reality, you need to use that skill to convince their lordships to shake a judgment which is in favor, in your client's favor. Now, these moot court competitions do really make a kind of training ground for you to enhance research skills, to find the authorities, to quote them, to cite them, to seek a kind of substantive basis for your arguments to win the case. And I'm sure that you must have learned when you wrote your memorials, you had to put a lot of time and energy to make research on not only issues, but the provisions of law, the authorities which you want to cite for substantiating your arguments, therefore it gives you research skill. Now when you stand before the judges, it requires you to convince them to the preciseness. We lecturers do keep on talking in the classrooms, but you as a lawyer has to be very brief and convince the judges on the issues which you identified to win the case. So therefore, it gives you kind of arguing skills. Now, the third thing which you learn is articulating your arguments. You have to articulate arguments, because argument is different than imagination. You have to articulate arguments based upon law. Therefore, you learn this third experience. Fourth experience is that you learn time management, because you, unlike you, judges do not have time to keep on listening you for hours together in a classroom. They work under pressure of time. Therefore, you have to be very precise in the argument. Therefore, you learn this preciseness. And therefore, the last thing which you get is kind of networking when you represent your institutions. So therefore, this is a kind of practical ground for you to learn the techniques of the skills of profession. And I congratulate Professor Giteji for giving this opportunity to you and forum to you and witnessing me and seeing me the budding lawyers and future judges. With these words, I congratulate each one of you. As His Lordship has said, winning, losing is a part of life. Don't get saddened or don't get very happy if you lose or lose. What is your gain is experience. Experience as if you argue your case with enthusiasm. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Our next guest is Honorable Mr. Justice Rajesh S. Patil. Lordship graduated from Mumbai University with a Bachelor of Commerce degree and secured a Bachelor of Laws degree from Mumbai University. Lordship got enrolled with the Bar Council of Maharashtra and Goa on 17 December 1996 and commenced practice with law firm Singhania and Company, and thereafter joined chambers of Senior Counsel Mr. Abhay K. Abhayankar. Lordship practiced on appellate and original side of Bombay High Court in constitutional law, tenancy laws, municipal laws, service laws, banking laws, testamentary, and arbitration. Lordship represented various public sector undertakings like Mumbai Municipal Corporation, Bombay Port Trust, and Mumbai Metro Rail, etc. Lordship was a part-time lecturer at New Law College, Mumbai, and has keen interest in sports and music. Lordship was elevated as an additional judge of the Bombay High Court on 19 July 2022. The session is over to you, Lordship.
My brother judge, Justice Vijay Kumar Patil from Bangalore, Professor Vibhute, Dr. Prabhakar Kore, Principal Dr. Geete, Advocate Prabhu from Bangalore, the teaching and the faculty members of KLE, the students of KLE, and all the participants. First, to begin with, I am happy that these two girls are not here, because every time you start and you are under pressure, okay, now the play will come, 2 minutes left. So I am so happy that you called me at the last moment, she is not there. Secondly, the principal, when he invited me for this competition and he said, you be a judge here, I was not told it is going to be a reserved category of a competition where only females will appear. And I hope this is not going to happen in all competitions, because all the competition which I have been attending, what boys get representation of what 10% or 20%, here fully the girls competition was there. So we had to select one of the best one of them. Okay, all the best for all the girls. You are doing quite well. Well, as far as I am concerned, I don't come from any legal background. I mean, I don't come from a generation of lawyers where you have second generation, third generation, fourth generation. My senior came from the fifth generation lawyer. But I was not, and I was fortunate I went to his chamber. I could, take a glass from the whole ocean of the law. You have started now, you will learn much more. Well, I can call you people as a people from the golden era. When I say golden era, that means you have with you what you call as that mobile phone, the technology, where is the enough here? The technology, the online thing, which we never had. So, senior is to tell us, today we have argued this point. On that point number 4, I want a judgment. So, we had to start with, first of all, to look into which act, because he has just said it. Even if you know what the matter is going on, but his point is fine, so I have to see for the act. Once I decide the act, I have to take up that commentary, read the commentary, then there will be various judgments. Dig out each and every judgment, start reading it, then find out which is in my favor, in the favor of my senior, and then which is against. Before coming at this side, before becoming a judge, when I have to tell my juniors, get a judgment on this point, by the time I finished my cup of coffee, the judgment was in my hand. That is, something is called as Google Baba. I mean, that just click and you get the judgment. Now I am happy as a senior when I get a judgment that fast. My work is done. But what happens to the junior? His brain is not working. His brain has not worked at all. All he has to do is that put up that point, the judgment is there. I am not against technology. Mind well, I am not against technology. Technology is good. It is very good. But the question is, are we supposed to say goodbye to all your books and all your commentaries? The answer is no. You are supposed to look into the books, the commentary, read the judgments. Then thereafter, if you want to just verify it, go back, go on the SSC online or whichever online thing is available to you and find out and check out whether you were on the right track. So that is one. Second is all of you are having friends. She must be having her as a best friend. He must be having her as a best friend. Nothing wrong. You should have friends. But the best friend for all of you is the books. And when I mean books, you are supposed to read it. And when I supposed to read it, that does not mean you are supposed to read the law books. Law books you have to read, there is no option. You are supposed to read books other than law. And when I say other than law means what? She may be interested in a particular subject, you must be interested in a particular subject. To start with, do that. Read autobiographies, read biographies. It will make a huge difference to your whole career. For example, today you go back home, you read a book, and you shut down the book. Life goes on. Maybe, somewhere after 5 or 6 years, you are reading a matter. something will recall to you. It happened with me. Our senior always told us, you go back, read books, go back, read books, read whatever you can. So I used to wonder why, and I was not the person who was like interested in reading novels, books and all. So I used to think over why he's saying this, because he's such a big man, why he's saying this. And I started reading then books. I was reading a book of Dr. Abdul Kalam, and means just when you read that books, there's something which we can't even think. And in very plain language, he has explained all the things of his life, what has happened here, there. After my senior, I had a habit of going to attend courts where I don't have work and just sit and listen to the arguments. And a particular, I don't want to name the counsel, the very big man for that purpose. And he was arguing on PIL. And while arguing that PIL, it was regarding the metro rail in the city of Mumbai. A particular structure standing in the main heart of the city was not being affected directly because the line was going down. But the argument was, don't do it. It affects our sentiments. No problem. And I was listening to that argument. Something just struck to me and I said, something I have read. And I just walked out of the courtroom and I called up my wife and told her, do you have that Abdul Kalam? Just take it out from my shelf. She took out the book and I said, just read the index and I want to know the chapters. And she started reading the chapter after chapter. Wait, this chapter, go to that page, read the first 4 lines. She read the first 4 lines. Well, yes, it is the point. Well, just be ready. Our clerk is coming down to the house, getting the book for me. She bought the book. I got the Xerox. And as soon as there was a lunch break, I requested the counsel, sir, I have one word to speak to you. He said, yes, what? Well, I am in midst of an argument. Well, I know that, sir, you are in midst of an argument. It is concerning this matter itself. So why you are an interferer here? Well, I am not going to interfere. I have a point. Just look into, if you feel it is good, you can, so just show me the point. I told him, sir, this is a book. Well, why you showing me a book? I am going with the matter. Just read 4 lines. He took that chapter and read the 4 lines. He went ahead, he read the whole 6 pages. He said, fantastic. He gave it to his attorney who was briefing him and told him, make 6 copies, we are using this. And he told me, Rajesh, I am going to show this judgment to the court and I am going to tell them that you have given me. Well, sir, don't do that. That is not the purpose which I have. Just wait. Now, the interesting point in that particular article was, somewhere down Kerala, a village was to be acquired by the government for some research purpose. And they had a difficulty in acquiring. See, whenever a land is acquired, for example, tomorrow her land has been acquired, government wants to acquire, she can't oppose it, it is for public purpose. But when you do that, she has to be paid. And she might oppose it. And when she opposes it, it takes time in court, maybe 5 years, 4 years, 10 years, one doesn't know. Till that time, the project is held up. But if he says willingly, I am here giving the land, give me my compensation, I am going out. So it is done immediately. So that was the difference there. The whole village was belonging to a particular community, the Christian community. And the scientists from Delhi went there and met the father over there in the church and said, Father, I want your whole village, this is the purpose. So you cooperate. Father looked at him, do one thing, come down on Sunday after the Mass. So why after the Mass? You will come down after the Mass. So that day after the Mass on the Sunday, the father said to the whole crowd, maybe something of this sort it must be because they normally speak on the dais. And he said, one friend of mine, a scientist from Delhi has come down. He is saying he wants to acquire the whole village of ours, my own house and our church also. What should we do? The people said, Father, you suggest. Father said, it is now 2 things. One is the religion, second is the science and the country. What prevails? So they said, Father, you only decide. He said, when it is a question of the country and science and religion goes together, country comes first. all said Amin. The whole village was given in that 2-minute speech, entire village. This particular article was thereafter read over when the argument was over in our case, in the case which I tried to help. And he said, now I appeal to the entire community, the way it happened in Kerala, it should happen in the city of Mumbai. See, this happened only because I read something. The same way you read something, one doesn't know how it is going to help you in some matter. So therefore reading helps. It actually helps. Second thing which was told to us by our senior was, कि once you complete your studies, go back to the college and start teaching. Now when he said this to all of us juniors, he must have told us, I think 6 or 7 times, go back and teach, go back and teach. Now why this man is always saying, go back and teach, go back and teach? Why? There has to be some reason. So I made that courage because otherwise my senior was very, not a person who could immediately go and approach. Sir, I want to ask you something. Why every time you are going and telling us, go and teach, go and teach? Means to get up and teach those students like you people all here are, and then go back to court with your work. It is so difficult. He said there is a reason for it. Because he taught in the college. His father was also a senior counsel. He also taught in the college. So there is a difference. In the court, when you argue a matter before a judge who knows law. And normally he is single or he is in 2 judges are sitting. And maybe the another person to disturb you will be the other side lawyer. So at the most you have 3 people. But when you teach in a college, I have to study my subject thoroughly. So whole repetition goes on. I come here, I thought she has gone, but there's someone else. Okay, so I have only 10 minutes. Okay. So the difference is that you study, you rewind everything, and when you speak in front of not 2 or 3 people, but maybe 30, 40. At least that much people attend lectures, I believe, or at least 10 people. Then these are the people who don't know law in real sense, and they may just stand up and ask a question which I must have never dreamt of. How can there be this kind of a question? And if I am able to answer a particular question which has just come up, I can easily answer a judge. So that difference comes up. And when you read and when you speak, there is a storage here. That storage comes out of your mouth, connection of my eyes with the crowd. So my brain, my eyes and my mouth, all 3 get connected and it starts working in that fast. Right? So that is the difference. So my advice would be, a sincere advice, as I have heard of my senior and I did that. My brother has been a teacher for a very, very long time. I don't want to say anything about the professor who is sitting there. What it meant, they immediately understood what I am saying. But for you young generation, as you passed out, go back to the college. Any college you get in Bombay, there are around 45, 50 law colleges. Go and say, I am a guest lecturer, I want to come and teach. Initial period you have time. After a few years there will be no time because your matters will be so much, you will be busy. So at that time there will be no time. So now, once you complete, request the college principal. 1 college, 2 college, 3 college, whichever college. Go to college and ask them, I want to go and teach. It will help you. That is one way of. And others I would like to tell you that people who come from 2nd generation or 3rd generation as a lawyers, for them, as far as the race is concerned, madam, I know it is 10 minutes. And the race is concerned, you are taking up a startup. In every race there is a startup. For them, probably they are 2 steps ahead of you who are coming for the first time, the 1st generation lawyer. But that does not throw you out of the race. The person who is 2 steps ahead must be relax because he is 2 steps ahead and he knows now he can beat you. But if you try, you might go ahead of him. That means try. When I say try means what? Like I did. I had nobody. I prepared my CV, or we used to call it as a biodata, you call it a CV. So I prepared my biodata with whatever good marks I had, because I did not have a good marks. And I went to the law firms. I took the Yellow Pages book and saw which are the law firms in the city. And I just went and approached them. Going to the counter, waiting for some time, asking the lady on the counter, this is my CV, I want to see whether I can join this law firm. And I made a request, is it possible to meet the partner? Many a times, no, you can't meet a partner and we don't have a vacancy. The operator herself used to say, whenever we have a vacancy, we will call you on your number. But still, is it possible to meet? Every time the answer was no. The last firm which I went, they allowed me to meet the partner. Last two firms allowed me. The second last firm, the partner said, Mr. You have not written how many gold medals you have got. No, sir, I have not got any gold medal. Okay. The last firm which I went and met, the partner, the Singhanian company, partner told me that there is no space, frankly. And let's see, but there is no space. I said, thank you very much. And I went to walk. It is up, so it is the last 1 minute. But next day morning, I got a call from that firm, please join. So it happened to me only because I tried. Now the person who does not try should never think he will ever get any chance. And try means, as they say, as the race goes on, and there are hurdles bound to be there. Hurdles will be to you also. Cross over the hurdles, jump over it. Right? Go and try out. And forget it. If somebody tells you, okay, English is a difficult language and I have studied in vernacular, or else I don't speak English at my house, makes no difference. It's just a language. It can be overcome by anybody. What is required is the stuff in you. The law in you should be there. So learn it well. These are the days when you learn law. Otherwise, when you start practicing, that time you start opening books. Learn it now, then there will be no time. There is much more to say, but she will now, I think, stand up probably. So before I conclude, see, you all persons will be preparing for the matter and all want to win the matter. Like you came today and you wanted to win the competition. As far as getting ready for the matter is there, you might even lose the matter. Your intention is I have to win, but you might lose a matter. Lose a matter, don't lose the court. I hope you all followed what I want to say. When I say I don't lose the court means, be fair to the court. If you know what is the law point, should be fair to the court. Don't hide something and then say, okay, now I will not show, court will know it about, the other side is going to point it out. Right? With that, thank you very much the KALE College for calling me here. Hope next time, again, if they give me a chance, I'd be here and slightly more time than what she gave me today. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, respected dignitaries, for your gracious presence at Sparkle 4.0. We are indeed indebted with your enlightening session. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. All the students and participants, you are hereby instructed to go and have lunch and come back within 20 minutes because our chief guest of the valedictory session has already arrived. So please be there within 20 minutes. Thank you. Students, please be back as soon as possible. Have your lunch as soon as possible. Please be back.